It's amazing how consistent these are with each other and month over month. They're like almost always some of the best days on the market, at least the most consistent days on the market.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just
Almost
not a lot
always. You're
there. I
right.
feel like it's maybe like a little bit underserved in terms of number of homes. When I look at that and it's like, 20 homes, 30 homes, it's like that's not that many for that's a relatively big market. So I think that definitely is a contributing factor to why the days on the market stays so healthy.
All right, let's get into the Westside Roundup. Now, if you're new to the podcast, well, I'm sorry you've missed out on a lot of valuable content. But if you are new, the Westside Roundup is where we are going to pack in, well, the suburbs on the west side of Indianapolis. The reason we pack them in, and I spit through these pretty quickly, is because these markets, and you'll quickly see here in just a moment how much they relate to one another. Avon, Plainfield, and Brownsburg. All of these are very similar markets, and it really stretches the entire west side of Indianapolis. So without further ado, I'm going to blaze through these. It's very similar to our market in a minute that I'm going to run through here, which if you haven't already, check out our YouTube channel. And if you're tired of all my boring but pretty amazing comments, you can elude some of those by just going to our market in a minute. So, all right, here we go. I'm gonna jump in. Mike, wave me down if you have something inspirational you wanna say.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, here we go. Avon, October 2025 market report. This is the rental side. Let's jump in. Number of active homes currently in the market is 49, which is down just 2% month over month. Average rental price is $23.76 with an average days on market at 32. A very healthy 32 for Avon, which is absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see if the other markets are going to tie real close to that one. Average price per square foot is at 91 cents. Now you've got your apartments and condos lying there just below that, and then followed by your townhomes. Feel free to check out that data and consume that at your desire. And then at the bottom there, you've got your 3-line graphs, which is going to compare last year's information to this year so that you can make predictive decisions if you're interested in the Avon market, which I know many of you are. I'm having lots of conversations with individuals who are looking at new construction in the Avon area. I will caution, because there's only one way that I work, and that's in complete transparency, is that Avon, if you're looking at building, or if you're currently under construction, the chances that you're going to cover your costs at a monthly rate is nil. It's as close to zero as I think you could get, because I'm having a lot of those conversations, and it's just impossible right now due to the costs. But that's neither here nor there. Feel free to reach out, and I'll have that discussion with you independently, and we can. But that is some of the ground level conversations I'm having right now with every person I'm talking to in the area. But of course, we'll do everything possible in order to cover every penny of your costs out of pocket. Go ahead, Mike.
And it is counteracted. I mean, the benefit of a new home is that you should have
great
no or very little maintenance on a new construction home, which is a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to the net operating income at the end of the year. So something to consider, something to put into your calculations is the maintenance effect or lack of maintenance costs when it comes to putting a new home into use as a rental home.
Well, I'm glad you didn't just let me just sail on that bad news bear, but because you're right. I mean, there's many more aspects, obviously, to owning a rental property than your monthly cash flow. And if you've caught our podcast before, we talk a lot about that. And not only, to Mike's point, is the maintenance cost, but the appreciation in Avon. I mean, great school systems. The long-term potential for property in Avon is absolutely stellar, which I'm sure is why everybody is. A lot of people are looking at new construction in the Avon area. They're already aware of this. I mean, there's a lot of potential there. Not only, Eagle Creek Park is absolutely stunning. So a lot of potential. So yeah, it's certainly not all doom and gloom about the monthly cash flow. All right, let's move into the sales part. Average days on market. Now we're going to cover the sales information from an investor point of view, which is everything from a $0 to $500,000 price point, because that is what we call the investor point of view. Investors aren't typically interested in investing more than that. So average days on market for a property currently for sale in Avon is 44. Average price per square foot at $167, with an average sales price at $345,698, which is nearly flat month over month, up just over 3%, almost 3.5% year over year. Homes sold at 53. Now that's down 10% year over year, which is interesting. Average sales price over time there in the bottom left-hand graph. You can check that out and see how we compare it to last year's information. And then number of homes sold. So if you're interested in entering this market, that will break down for you by $50,000 price points on how much you can expect to spend if you plan on are interested in entering this market, and at what price point you should plan on spending. All right, Brownsburg. To continue our Westside Roundup, you've got number of active homes at 34 with an average rental rate at 2163, average days on market, again, at a pretty healthy 37. So those are correlating so far. Average price per square foot is just 3 cents higher at 94. Now, your apartments and condos, and then your third line there, which is going to be your townhomes. Feel free to take a look at that. And then you've got all your graphs there for your consumption to compare last year's information with our trackable data from this year. The sales data for October at an average days on market at 47. These are almost identical markets. Average price per square foot at 171. Average sales price at 346. 692. Number of homes sold at 44. Your average sales price over time is almost flat with last year's. And again, the number of homes sold, we are down 13%. Where, correct me if I'm wrong, I do mix these up. I think it was 10%. And Avon, and we are down 13%. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right. All right, on to the rental data. We're going to move on to Plainfield, our last suburb of the west side of Indianapolis. Number of active homes at 34. Average rental price at $20.95. So just under here. Let's when we get over to the sales side, let's see if we can enter this market a little cheaper than we did the other two. Average days on market at 39, darn near identical. Average price per square foot up a little higher here. Okay, we're at $1.01 per square foot. It continues to grow as we get through these individual markets. Now you've got your apartments and condos, and then your townhomes line there as well, so you can take a look at those. And then you've got your line graphs there at the bottom, so you can check out where we were last year and where we're going this year. All right, here's the sales data. Yes, you can pick up a property just slightly cheaper than you can, which explains our square footage advantage here in the Plainfield area. So average days on market is only 33, which I think in the previous two, it was at 40 something, I think. Average price per square foot at 166, average sales price at 331,650. And the number of homes sold, which is actually up. 60% here. Wow. People are picking up
interesting.
I don't want to, we're going to skip this one. Average sales price over time. Again, I mean, it's just a healthy figure over last year, and those nice line graphs that we provide, and the number of homes sold. You can look and see how many homes are selling and exactly what price bracket, because we've done all the work for you. So feel free to check that out. That will wrap up our West Side Roundup, unless you have anything to add.
It's amazing how consistent these are with each other, and month over month they're like almost always some of the best days on the market, at least the most consistent days on the market.
That's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's
almost
just not
always,
a lot there.
right.
It's maybe like a little bit underserved in terms of number of homes. When I look at that and it's like 20 homes, 30 homes, it's like that's not that many that's a relatively big market. So I think that definitely is a contributing factor to why the days on the market stay so healthy.
You're probably absolutely right. And I don't know about you. The only thing I think about when I think about the West Side is Eagle Creek Park. I mean, that's such a large park over there, right? I mean, that takes up. I mean, how large are these cities? Do you have any?
In terms of like number of people?
Princess, yeah.
I don't off the top of my head.
Yeah. I'll have to track that data down. Now I'm curious because when I think of these markets, I do think of honestly slightly smaller cities that are currently in their growth stages.
Yeah.
Okay.